Since SypherPK stopped doing it, I have officially taken over the video and everything that Epic Games needs to do in Fortnite Chapter 6 Season 3. I'm going to be walking you through what I would do if I was Epic Games to create the best experience possible. Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle, I am your guy who's been a YouTube channel. So, we are not going to be covering the baseline things that we talk about all the time. Like, hey, Epic Games, we need to make sure there's some LTMs. Separate casual and competitive. Bots need to go. We're not going to be covering that. We're going to be covering things related to what we already know and to be leaked about the season. So here's what we do know about the season so far. We have a Superhero Academy theme. Midas funds that Superhero Academy. There is a Fortress of Solitude POI, and with this Fortress of Solitude POI is going to come a the Superman event, kind of like what we already saw with Godzilla and what we're going to be seeing at, depending on what the time you're watching this video, the Imperial Destroyer. There is a masked Daigo skin, and he is the main antagonist of the season, a 0-point sprite, and a Utopia City POI. This is what we already know, and we are building this video based off of assuming these leaks are true. And historically, when it comes to brand new season leaks, these things definitely are true. So there's a few things that I want to walk you through, and one of the most important things, guys, because we are having a Epic Games original superhero themed season with Superman being a guest, okay? We need original mythics. And excuse my zoomed in picture that I have over here of the Foundation's MK. There was a lot of blurry ones and a lot of copyrighted ones I didn't want to get into, okay? But this is a huge opportunity for Epic Games to tap into their creative potential. Now, I know you might be giving a little bit of pushback and saying, hey, they tapped into their creative potential with Fortnite Wrecked. Look where that got us. Well, one, we're seeing nostalgia for it already, which is crazy, but this is a whole different kind of season. They can make this just like Chapter 2 Season 4 if they actually have that vision in mind, using some creativity from Epic Games. I would love to see some mythics, especially if we have Masked Daigo coming in. That has a ton of potential. Give us a Midas mythic, not even the drum gun, some superhero power. There is a whole academy of superheroes. The potential there is incredible. You could even reskin some of the mythics that we've had for Marvel. Just make them a little busted, a little better. They need to be mythics like we did feel with them back in Chapter 2 Season 4, where it's like, okay, we have a superpower. This is awesome. Give us a reason to remember this season. Not like we've seen in Absolute Doom. We need a reason to remember this season and how this superhero theme can stand out, because we've had it a couple times now. We need Epic Games to create original mythics again, original superpowers, stuff that we haven't seen before. You can reskin, like I just said, you can reskin some of those old ones, but we need things to be a little bit original and not IP based, and I'm worried about that because we do have Superman coming, okay? Let's continue on. Continue with the storyline that we have right now. Obviously, Midas is coming back, and one of the biggest pushbacks that everybody has been talking about with these leaks is, oh my god, Epic Games, stop milking Midas. I get it. I wasn't really happy with what they did with Midas and Lawless either. He was there. The story was like, okay, you know what? It was there, but it still wasn't really anything meaningful. Midas is funding a superhero academy. I don't want it to just be, oh, Midas got a lot of gold in Lawless. Midas has gold. He spent gold in this building, and now we have a superhero theme. We have the potential with the 0 point coming back. Make Midas meaningful. Epic Games has one of the most interesting and beloved characters in the entire lore of Fortnite and Fortnite history, and they are dropping the ball with Midas. Make it meaningful. We need this, okay? Maximize the Daigo lore. With the trailer that we've seen from Daigo and with the continuation of the story, and this is something that I love that Epic Games has been doing since Chapter 6, the story has been continuing. I am actually so hyped to see what their plan is with Daigo, and I would really, really love them to take advantage of that. Give us some cutscenes, give us a trailer, give us some hidden secrets, even if we have to talk about the 0 point. Whatever's going on with Daigo, Epic Games, you have me hooked right now. And you have a lot of the community excited because that first trailer was really cool. We have finally had a little bit of a payoff from the story that you've been building. So we need to continue on with that. The storyline it's been something really important to the community that has been missing for a little while, and we're finally getting a little bit of that momentum back. So when you have something that's working, continue with it. Maximize, do whatever you can with the Daigo lore. And if we're talking about a superhero themed season, I would love, because it's a masked Daigo, bring back the masks, the Void Oni mask, whatever, the Finder Oni masks, and create some new ones. Please, those were so much fun in Chapter 6 Season 1. And finally, return the 0 point. We have a 0 point sprite. We have a leaked item or mechanic, and I don't know if it's coming from the 0 point sprite, but we are going to have that 0 point dash again. We've been hearing things about the 0 point. It's very evident now, and what's funny is this community doesn't know what they have until it's gone. Everybody was sick of the 0 point, but unfortunately, it is evident that a lot of people really miss that old storyline, and I know you could kind of mask that over a little bit depending on how well you perform with this brand new storyline. The 0 point, though, guys, it was something that was so close to Fortnite fans. It was why everybody was interested in the storyline. It was not necessarily the main character, but it was always around. So when we hear 0 point this, 0 point that, bring it back. Just bring it back. We need it. Have all of the different realities. I don't know what they're going to do with the storyline, but don't just do what you did with Midas. Oh, 0 points here. Oh, it's destabilizing. Poof. We just need to make sure we're continuing this momentum, and a lot of fans would probably be happy to see the 0 point making a return because we all know how meaningful that is to the storyline. Let's continue on. This is very important, okay? We need some massive location changes. We have the Star Wars locations right now, and those are phenomenal. I'm not a hater of them like some people are, okay? I really, really love them, but these are more than likely taking off next season. And so far, we only have 2 POIs leaked. We need to make sure that we have enough landmarks. We need to make sure that these brand new POIs aren't just a superhero academy. We need to make sure it's a whole big surrounding area and biome. We need significant changes to the map. And I know we talk about map changes a lot when it comes to like, okay, Epic Games, you need to do a little bit better with this and that. Map changes are brought up a lot when they're talking about changing Fortnite, but it's very important this time around because we're probably going to get those POIs that we've had introduced this season deleted, and then we'll be left for a really long time kind of feeling like we're playing on the same map since the beginning of Chapter 6. I personally can still have fun playing the game with that, but that's going to upset a lot of the community, and kind of understandably so since Fortnite has built a expectation with the way they do their updates. So this might end up feeling, depending on how big these brand new POIs are, this might end up feeling actually smaller than what we've had with the Star Wars changes. So we need to make sure that there is something very, very significant, excuse me about my notification there, and we need to keep the players happy with that, okay? Map changes are very, very important this time around. Let's continue on to OG Season 4, because guys, as of right now, at the time of recording this video, OG Season 4 is set to launch at the same time. Guys, I am so excited for this because we have leaks talking about right now with the meteor changing things up. Could you imagine if the meteor actually ended up hitting Tilted? I would personally really love this. Now, I've always been, when we're talking about OG, I was always on team like copy and paste. I want it to feel the exact same. But with these updates, we've been having one map. It hasn't been changing. If you're going to go that route, why not switch it up a little bit? I am very, very interested to see what Epic Games would do with this and what other POI we would have in place of that. I hope that they keep it all Season 4 related. I hope so. Maybe they'll just make it a big crater. I'd be okay with that. Okay? All I want from them, and I'm worried about it because there has been some surveys sent out to players saying, hey, how would you feel if we added this Chapter 2 stuff to OG? I would hate that. It would make me not play. Okay? Target Tilted Towers, change it up. And could you imagine if they ended up changing up the storyline for OG? That would bring so many players back. Tedious X actually came up with a fantastic theory, guys, about like, oh, you know what? I might make a whole video talking about the potential for that. But guys, the fact that we could get a storyline changed up and a brand new storyline and maybe even connected to the BR depending on like different timelines and things like that, I think would be very fun. And if they do this and at least reduce the bots a little bit, because not this enough won't make me go back to playing OG Fortnite. They'll need to fix a couple things in there, and I'm not talking about the grass. I'm talking about like the state of bots in the game, to be honest with you. They fix that. They start having a storyline. They put secrets in there. I can look at that meteor again and going, okay, where's it going to hit this time? That's going to revive my interest in OG Fortnite. So I'm very excited for this potential. I don't know how I feel about them dropping on the same day. I feel like it'd be better as a mid-season update, but man, I think that potential is there, and it's great. Unfortunately, with the leaks that we have right now, with the superhero theme that we've already had, there wasn't exactly a ton to break down in comparison to the previous videos that I made on that. So what we actually did is we made an update. If you guys know from Chapter 4, I made a complete guide to fixing Fortnite. Well, Part 2 is finally out, how to fix Fortnite in 2025. The complete guide is right here, guys. Check out that video. I put a lot of thought into it. Thank you very, very much for watching. Take care, everybody.